I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Heather McCollough.
Heather McCollough, running for judge of the Cleveland Municipal Court. I'm also running for the seat that will be vacated by Judge Marilyn Cassidy. I will be on your ballot this coming November. I would like to also thank these ladies for giving us an opportunity to be able to dig a little deeper into who we are and what we bring to the bench. Sister Jackson, I appreciate your testimony. Thank God for you, and I think that whether you get on council or not, you're going to be able to have an impact all over this city. So bless you. I look forward to seeing and hearing more about you as things go on. I've been an attorney for the past 22 years now. I started off working at the Juvenile Detention Center, working in the units with the kids, seeing how their lives are going. I then became an attorney. I was a guardian ad litem for the juvenile court, working for the best interests of the children, their families. During that time period, I've also worked during custody issues, and a lot of times I've helped people in that everyone doesn't have $3,000 for a retainer. Right. But I've given people payment plans, I've lowered costs just because whether or not you should be able to keep your child should not be dependent on whether or not you can afford an attorney. Everybody needs representation. It changed the policies years ago, because they used to give everybody an attorney in the juvenile court, and then they stopped. They would only do it if you were suffering, potentially jail time. The rest of that was just a plain custody motion. You're on your own. So I've also been appointed counsel with the Common Pleas Court. I've done federal court as well. The bulk of my experience has been in the municipal court. I started off working as a public offender for the East Cleveland Municipal Court. I am currently the prosecutor for the city of East Cleveland. That has been a lot. As you can tell from the news, there's a lot going on out there, and I've still managed to stay above the fray. The good part about being a prosecutor with that court is that on the municipal level, you can handle your cases kind of how you want to see fit. You don't have to send everything downtown. Everything doesn't have to be a felony. I can choose to keep some things aside. So if I see some 19-year-old kid with no record, I don't have to send him downtown necessarily. I can keep him in the municipal court, and we can work with him. We have a diversion program that we use, so people who come in, if I try to see what do you have going on in your life. If you're coming in here and you're telling me that you are working towards your nursing degree, you're an STNA, if you have a domestic violence charge, ding, 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 you can't have that on your record and become a nurse. Right. So what can we do? Most of the time when it comes to domestic violence, now we have those egregious kind of examples that you're talking about, but a lot of times it's not that serious. So if I have a victim that's saying, hey, I don't want the worst penalty for them, I want them to be accountable for what they did, but they don't have to go to jail. Most of the time, they just want them to get some counseling. They just want them to have some anger management. So we'll do that. So I may reduce the charge to something that they can get expunged off their record, or maybe they can participate in a diversion program so they won't have a record at all, so they can keep their jobs. If you're coming in there on a traffic matter, you may say, traffic. No, traffic matters, because traffic, if you are driving around with a suspended license, that's a problem. And it can cost you thousands of dollars to get your license back. You might have to go to this and all kinds of different municipalities to try and remove your warrant blocks, and it can be a process. I give you continuances so that you can do that. And Cleveland Municipal Court has what they call the TIP program. They do that as well. So I'm looking to see, do you have a CDL? Because if you have a CDL, there are certain things you can't have on your record or your CDL is gone. And that's your job. And that's your income. That's how you can afford to feed your family. So those are the kinds of things that I do in that court. And we have court every Monday morning and every Thursday morning and afternoon. And anybody is welcome to come in and see what I'm doing in that court, because I'm still working. So you can see how I handle my cases. I'm not there to stick it to you. There's a level of accountability, but everything isn't about sending somebody to jail. You mentioned mental health. I still do some defense work. So not too long ago, I had, he was roughly 19, 20 years old. He had been convicted of a felony. He was on probation. All he had to do was pay fines and costs, sign up for counseling. Sounds simple, but for some reason he hadn't gotten it done yet. And I happened to be in court on a different matter, and the PO is frustrated. She's ready to send him off to jail. The judge is kind of tired, like, what's going on? So she assigned me to him. And I'm trying to figure out what is wrong. Why can't you just sign up for counseling? And he's telling me about his insurance and this and that, and I never could get a real straight answer out of him. So at the next court hearing, he's still not signed up, and I'm saying, Judge, something is wrong. Something is wrong here. I don't understand. I can't get good, solid answers out of him. There's something more going on than just, he's just not bothering to follow your orders. He's not bothering. Something is going on. And as I began to talk, the PO began to jump in and say, yeah, she's noticed some problems too. Something is wrong here. So at that point, the judge said, let's have an evaluation. Take him down, he gets his evaluation. It came back that he had severe depression. So at that point, now things began to change. Oh, he's got an actual diagnosed problem. They assigned him a social worker. She helped him get into counseling. The next time we come in, he's smiling, the PO smiling, everybody's smiling. And he got terminated from probation that day. And when on another occasion, when I talked to the judge, she said, nobody had ever brought that up. He had had 2 prior attorneys. I looked it up on the docket, and nobody seemed to notice that this kid had a problem.
Wow.
So you have to have somebody that's willing to listen to you. So I want to be that judge that's that listening ear. I've been on this side of the bench advocating for people. I'm asking to be on the other side of the bench, to be that listening ear, that person saying, there's maybe a little more going on here than you just not doing what you're supposed to do, and locking folks up.
Love it. I love all of that. I love all of that. I really do. For me, I mean, I think it's a breath of fresh air. That story, that testimony right there, it goes to show just what I just said. That from you sitting back there waiting, to be heard today. That's what I heard that you're going to bring to the bench, and I appreciate that. And I look forward to you participating in all of our community forums, because I think everyone needs to hear your story.